His new album, Evangeline vs. the Machine, is out now. One epic night of music that you won't want to miss. Eric Church, Free the Machine Tour. Live at Golden One Center, November 13th. Get tickets now. For more, visit ericchurch.com. Produced by Messina Touring Group.
You've got a big day, so you use Unstoppable Scent Boosters to give your laundry non-stop freshness. So no matter how long the day goes, you
can't stop this power, this walk, this pose, this strut, this look, this talk.
Your clothes will be so fresh you can confidently strut into that end of the day meeting like a
bosses. Let's talk business in my office.
Add new Unstoppables beads to your wash for 24-hour non-stop freshness so you can smell unstoppable.
It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
KHDK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Hammer time thrown down by the league.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports, 1140.
Feeding your passion for local sports in the afternoon. It's the Drive Guys on your radio at 1140 a.m.
Streaming audio at SactownSports.com and the Sactown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys.
You got Jay and you got Whitey coming to you today from the Hard Rock Sports Bar. Jay, as you know, VIP grand opening tonight, which is why you're here, right?
No, I'm here just because you're here.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so a lot of celebrities coming by tonight. VIP grand opening. Tomorrow, the sports bar opens proper, although rumor has it might open tonight.
I'll be here for that, though.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
even though if you're not here for that.
Yes. So we got a lot to talk about there, and, of course, a lot to talk about with the 49ers and the Sacramento Kings. And we just happened to find in the parking lot today on our way in, you know him. I don't know if you love him. You probably a good chance you at least like him a little bit. Matt George with us, and it turns out, I invited you in. You were here to be on with us today, right?
Well, in theory, I was dejectedly walking back to my car after losing too much money at the blackjack table, and then you just said, "Hey, you want to come in and do a show and feel better?" And I said, "Sure, why not?" But
okay,
I'm in the hole, Whitey. Can I borrow some money?
I'll get back to you on that.
Okay.
Yeah, Jay's the guy to talk to when it comes to finances.
I know better than to ask Jay.
And I saw you had that hangdog expression, as you say, and I assumed it was because of what went down last night at the Golden One Center.
Well, that's another reason to be depressed. Boy.
Yeah. I don't want to be, like shock jock or anything. I didn't think the Kings looked that good last night.
Okay, now prove it.
I thought that they did not defend at an especially high level. That was my feeling.
So what you're saying is giving up 144 points in regulation, by the way, is bad. Losing by a combined 58 points in your last two home games is bad. Giving up 120 or more points in 7 out of your first 10 games, giving up 130 or more points in 4 out of your last 5 games is bad.
I'm old school. To me, that's not great.
Well,
the
NBA's moved on. This is an offensively driven league now. Who needs defense?
That's right. Before we get any deeper into that, what do you make? I believe this is for you and me's first time here at the Hard Rock Sports Bar.
It's gorgeous. It's bright. It's loud. It's exciting. And we got a gorgeous new sports bar that's being opened here. You're going to have to keep me locked in because there's all these big screens, and I'm like a moth to a flame. I'm just going to be staring at all these big screens and all the great sports programming that they have on. So make sure I'm still focused in. I'm not going to leave you hanging, Whitey, but there's a lot to look at in here. We got a signed Domantas Sabonis jersey right in front of us.
That's right.
A ball signed by Lionel Messi.
That's not for you. There's a reason why that's encased in glass.
I'll get in.
That's not one of your party favorites.
I'll get in.
Yeah. Jay, what do you make of this? Up to 20 different sporting events going to be broadcast simultaneously on an immersive video wall inside the Hard Rock Sacramento Sports Bar. There it is right there.
Yes, sir. It's popping neon LED. I love it when the screens are oversized. And then you have a little ticker, hint, Sac Sports 1140. Frankie and company wish you'd have a ticker by now. When you have a ticker that's rocking and rolling at the top. And then at the same time, you have the scores at the top, and then you have just a little bit of a a line that's parallel to the screens and the ticker, and that has verbiage. So I'm all about that. It's actually telling me in the story. Detroit Lions cornerback Terrion Arnold, he enters concussion protocol. If you haven't heard that, by the way, fellas.
I see.
That's according to the panel of the wall of the new one of 20. Was it 20 or 30, you said?
Up to 20.
20.
Up to 20 sporting events broadcast.
That's one of 20 right there.
It's spectacular. If we don't see you up here tonight, we would love to see you at some point here at the Hard Rock and the sports bar opening. VIP opening tonight, as I said, Hard Rock Sports Bar, and then it's going to be open for everybody tomorrow. Now, Matt George, getting back to the Sacramento Kings.
Do we have to?
They're losing while in some ways becoming more confusing. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely.
I mean, on the one hand, we kind of knew this is where they were, right? On the other hand, the vibe in the stands, I wasn't there last night. I was there Friday. I know you were there. You're there every night. Vibe in the stands, not good. Vibe on the floor, not great.
Just because our fears are confirmed doesn't mean that the fears are any easier to swallow, right? I mean, there's a lot about what we believe this roster to be that is coming true before our very eyes just 10 games into the season. And I don't think anybody in their right mind looked at this roster, which is a very poorly constructed roster that Scott Perry inherited and then tried to put duct tape and super glue on in the form of like Dennis Schroeder and Dario Saric and drafting rookies Nick Clifford and Maxime Reynaud. We knew he wasn't going to be able to fix everything in one summer, although he certainly could make things worse. And one could argue maybe he has to some extent with especially the Dennis Schroeder signing. But what we're seeing is these fears being realized, actualized. I don't think any of us expected this roster to be good to great defensively. Doug Christie's not a miracle worker, but you don't have to be good to great to prevent your opponents from scoring 144 points. Like, that's non-existent defense, and that's why Doug spoke so passionately after last night's game. It wasn't, I know this team is going to be top 10 in the league defensively or anything like that. The messaging was all like, look, you got to fight for each other. I need you to buy in, like play for your brothers, be about it, don't just talk about it. Like, Doug's not asking for this team to be great defensively. He's asking for them to play hard defensively, and they haven't been willing to do that over the last couple games.
The comments he had last night and the way he made them after the game were very interesting to me, and I wouldn't quibble with anything that he said, but to me he almost seemed a little distanced from it.
Yeah.
As in, to me it was like, look, this is what we have to be. Unspoken was, there's only so much I can do.
Yeah.
You know, that was my impression. He didn't seem especially frustrated or angry at his team. It was more like, look, this is what we have to be, and that's not it. But unspoken almost to me was like, you know, there's only so much I can do right now.
Yeah, and I think Doug, I mean, it's easy for us to say from our position, but I think Doug has to do a better job taking more control of the situation. What Doug has been very consistent with is he takes ownership of the situation, or at least he did to start. Now he seems to be backing off a little bit more on that, hey, it starts with me, it's my fault first, I'll take the blame over everybody. He hasn't said that after these last couple of games. That being said, like, Doug, you're the head coach. And he was asked about, for the second straight game, not playing Keon Ellis until the fourth quarter when the game was already out of hand. And he talks about, like, oh, it's the circumstances, like it's the way the lineups are, log jam at the position. Like, he'll get the opportunity, but this, and that. It's like, no, Doug, you're the one that's directly in charge of whether or not Keon Ellis gets into the game. You have the say. Or do you? And that's where, that natural speculation is going to be there. And while Scott Perry hasn't earned that speculation as a general manager, while Doug Christie hasn't really earned that speculation as a head coach, unfortunately, ownership, who has been known to be over-involved over the last decade, has earned that speculation of who is really making the decisions here. And what really bothers me is we've known Doug Christie for years, not just the time of him as a player, but him working for Sactown Sports 1140, him on the radio broadcasts, him as an assistant coach, him as a head coach. The way he's talked about the game has never changed. His approach to the game has never changed. But now he's in this head coaching position that so many others have tried and failed at over the last 20 years. He's now in this spot, and his actions aren't supporting his words. So what's the difference?
Yeah.
Why is it different now?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are a little more confused. Jay has been saying for a while now, look, we pretty much know what this team is. He said that Friday when I started to get a little excited. You know, if you beat Oklahoma City and then you beat Minnesota. And Jay said, well, you know, they're pretty much what we thought.
Right.
That's true. However, even though it's disappointing that they're not playing well, we knew there was a good chance they wouldn't play well. But still, in addition to that, it's like, Well, wait, that's okay, but there are some things going on that are a little confusing. Specifically, Russell Westbrook is your best player, and then his minutes are cut back.
Yep.
Okay, is that so Keon can play? Keon didn't play either. And in answering a question about that, Doug Christie says, if you can defend, you're going to play. Well, by every measure, by the eye test, by the metrics, Keon Ellis is one of your better defenders, and he's not playing. So I think for a lot of fans, it's like, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Well, the game last night was over by the start of the second half, so that gave me a lot of time to just sit there and rack my brain and try and make sense of what the heck we're seeing and why it just doesn't make any, like why Keon Ellis is not getting into the game, why is our Russ's minutes being cut, why is Doug Christie saying repeatedly defense is what's going to get you and keep you on the floor, but then he's calling a timeout after his team gives up a run, and then the same exact lineup comes back onto the floor out of the timeout, and shocking, nothing changes. Like, why is this happening? And the only thing that I was able to come up with, Whitey, that makes any logical sense, and I kind of asked Doug Christie about it after the game, is we're 10 games into the season. I haven't had my full starting lineup yet, period. And I'm not using this as an excuse. I'm using this as a reality. Keegan Murray hasn't played. Domantas Sabonis is missed 3 out of the first 10 games. Zach LaVine missed a game, I believe. Like Dennis, so he's been mismatching lineups and all these things. Like, is the point right now to just trial by fire, get these guys experience on the floor together regardless of what's happening? We're going to keep them out there, and if they drown, they drown, but we're going to get them comfortable playing together and see what we have. And then if it doesn't work 20 games in or whatever, well, then that's when we make the change. That's when I'm okay going, all right, Keon Ellis is getting minutes, DeMar DeRozan, you're taking a seat, for example. That's the only thing that makes logical sense to me. And when I started to kind of ask Doug about that last night, he actually cut me off.
He did. I heard that.
Because he was like, yes, like this is what we're doing. We're kind of going through it right now.
He didn't jump on you, but he definitely jumped in on your question.
And I don't know if I threw him a life raft maybe for him to kind of to float on a little bit, but that's the only thing that makes logical sense is, hey, 10 games into the season, these guys haven't played together. I'm just going to put them out there for heavy minutes. Dennis Schroeder, even if he's playing horrendously on offense right now, he's our starting point guard, or at least he's supposed to be. So we're putting him out there, and we're just going to see what we have and figure it out as much as we possibly can and go from there. But if I had the opportunity to ask a follow-up question, which I didn't, the follow-up question would have been, okay, but at what point do you run out of that time? Because if you're really about winning, you're 3-7 through 10 games.
Mm-hmm.
If you give it another 10 games and you're 6-14, now you're in too deep of a hole where if you start making changes, is it too little too late?
Yeah, it's a little puzzling. We're out here at the Hard Rock Sports Bar, VIP grand opening tonight, and then it opens to the public tomorrow. Matt George is with us. You got Jay and Whitey here. And we'll get back to the Kings conversation in just a moment. But speaking of the Kings, they are also part of the celebration tonight in a way. There are a number of former Kings, some of the early Kings who are expected to be here tonight. Jerry Reynolds is supposed to be here tonight. Harold Presley's going to be here. LaSalle Thompson is scheduled to be here. Mike Woodson may be here. And my understanding is this is a celebration of 40 years of Kings basketball here in Sacramento, and this is an appropriate site for it because it's just about a mile from Yuba College, where the Kings used to, in their first 2 years, they used to train. So, yeah, it's kind of a putting a bow on the whole, 40 years in Sacramento celebration. That's the intent tonight, and there will be a lot of, as I say, early and original Sacramento Kings here tonight.
That was a bit before my time personally, but, I mean, knowing the history of this city and how Sacramento has always been broader than, like, the Sacramento city limits, right? Like, you say, I mean, this is Hard Rock, Sacramento up here in Marysville, so it always broadens beyond it. And, I mean, even if you tie, like, a San Francisco 49ers element into it, they used to do training camp at Sierra College, right? So this is, as we know, Whitey, this has always been a hotbed for talent, and typically athletes, when they come here, they end up long-term staying here. So it's cool to be able to celebrate that little bit of history with these many legends coming back here to their old stomping grounds.
Matt George, we found him in the parking lot wandering around aimlessly. Hey, why don't you come on the show? Okay.
Just
appreciate that.
Mascara running down my face. Just
appreciate
I was
that.
a wreck.
Speaking of celebrating history, Jay, you were just checking out some those MMA items you were checking out?
Yeah, little cage fighting gloves signed by Sacramento's own Uriah Faber. And so I was just triple checking, making sure. One of the things I got to do is a better job of I've been blessed to do a lot of things and be in a lot of different events and meet a lot of different people and crack bread with a lot of different individuals. But I don't normally take pictures. I don't normally take videos. I don't really post and let people know where I'm from because I'm just cut from a different cloth. So I got to do a better job. And so with that being said, I saw Uriah's glove sitting there, so I just went ahead and took a snapshot, We got Long Grange's jersey sitting in there, the greatest wide receiver ever to touch the cut of the grass. So it's just a beautiful situation. It's a sports bar. If you've ever been to one, looks familiar. I tell you that much. Doesn't look too different.
Yeah, among the big names confirmed to appear at some point tonight for the VIP grand opening. I mentioned many of them also. Tony the Tiger Lopez.
Yes, sir.
The High Flyers on here. Scott Moak, Jim
HT.
Les. Yes. Invited and possibly attending. There's a list of names, including, it says here, what does that say right there, Matt George? Who is invited and is possibly attending?
Oh, our good friend Carmichael Davis.
Carmichael Davis.
C. Davis. C. Davis.
Crash Davis's brother, Carmichael Davis.
Well, that's his name from now on. I hope he knows that.
Okay, getting back to the Kings last night, what's going on there? Did you enjoy, Matt? I'm sure you enjoyed Scott Perry's motivational Monday motivation today.
Oh, it's words that I live by every morning. Why? What'd he say?
Many people that have achieved great things have also endured failures along the way. One of the sustaining forces in their success was an unwavering faith in the final outcome. In the end, you won't be counting the number of times that you fell, but celebrating the wonderful reward which comes to those who endure each step along the way. They will be long forgotten. That's the Monday motivation today.
Well, I very much hope that Scott Perry has unwavering faith and that his vision, whatever that vision may be, will be executed eventually. But I think Scott should forgive the Sacramento Kings fan base, who's been through the absolute ringer over not just the last 20 years, really the last 4. Forgive them for not exactly feeling unwavering belief or support in what they're seeing on the floor, because I don't even know if his players are feeling unwavering belief in how they're supposed to be playing. It already looks like the hot topics like 94 feet and being the most well-conditioned team in the league and all these things we heard, not just Doug Christie, but everybody talk about in preseason and training camp, that already seems to be a thing of the past. And funny enough, I asked both Zach LaVine and Domantas Sabonis about that after last night's game. Both of them, separate times, not in the room together. Both of them, Whitey, brought up personnel.
Yes, I know. I saw that. I wasn't there, but I saw it today.
So they're seeing the same thing we're seeing. Hey, our roster isn't conducive to the way that they want us to play.
Yes. Zach LaVine saying, look, like Rudy Gobert, you don't expect him to score 30.
Yeah.
No, he's a defensive player.
So I actually appreciate that perspective from Zach LaVine because it's true. And one of the things Zach also said, he's like, hey, man, I'm busting my butt on the defensive end. And I believe it. I've seen it. I have not seen Zach LaVine work harder on defense than he has this season with the Sacramento Kings for Doug Christie. And it's had good moments. That being said, he's still a bad defender. And this roster is filled with those guys. We've known this roster is flawed. I'm glad the players recognize it too. But then on the flip side, you have Doug Christie going, I don't expect you guys to suddenly become great defenders, but I expect you to play hard and communicate on that side of the floor. So this is where we're starting to see, it's not a direct clash between coach and stars necessarily, but Doug's saying, we have enough talent on this roster to be able to do the bare minimum, which is communicate and play hard for each other on the defensive end so that offense can be fun.
I was mentioning this to Jay last week. Every bad defensive team I've ever seen up close, and there have been a lot of them, they all say the same thing. What's the problem? What do you have to do? Well, we have to communicate. It is it's the mantra of teams that don't defend well. Look, I know it's important, and I understand Doug Christie realizes the importance of it more than I ever will. At the same time, it only takes you so far when you can't guard people. Yeah. And for this team to be preaching defense from the start of training camp, I appreciate what Doug Christie said, but you just mentioned it. We all knew. We looked at this roster and said, well, you can't do that with this roster. Pick it up 94 feet. You got maybe a couple guys that can do that, but as a team, that's just not realistic. So my assumption was, okay, he's actually talking about the next group of players that's going to be in, because these guys really aren't capable of doing that.
But will Doug ever see that next group of players? Like, we had a conversation weeks ago, Whitey, when we found out the details of Doug Christie's contract, and that's why it sent alarm bells off in my head. Doug's 2 guaranteed years, as he's likely the lowest paid head coach in the league. Those 2 years are tied directly to Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan being on this roster, and their money specifically being tied up here. Doesn't mean both of them are going to be here at the end of those 2 years. I think DeMar DeRozan should be and will be moved at this trade deadline. Hopefully they can get something of value for him. I don't think you can move Zach LaVine because of his contract, but the Kings might try. Who knows? But regardless, Doug's years are tied to the guaranteed years of these 2 contracts for these older players that are offensive specialists and have never once been known for the defensive side of the floor. So I get that Doug's vision and Scott Perry's vision may be aligned, but clearly it's going to take time for them to build a roster of players that fit that vision. And if Doug Christie doesn't survive that, and you bring in another head coach, maybe it works out, but you're trying to build some sort of stability to this organization, and you can't do that when you're recycling head coaches every 2 to 3 years, and 3 years might be generous for this team.
Yeah, you may be 100% right. I'm just not willing to go that far yet.
Sure.
Because there are more pressing issues, and again, I know you may be right, but as you're talking, I've said this already a number of times, one of the few guys you have on the roster that probably could pick up 94 feet is not playing. So it's just kind of a head scratcher. Go ahead.
Sorry, but the guy that's supposed to, and Dennis Schroeder, is not doing it either.
Right.
So, what
What
are we doing?
Yeah. The one moment that really stood out to me that kind of chapped my hide, if I may say that here, at the Hard Rock Sports Bar.
Careful, there's not kids.
It was the end of the quarter Friday, and I think it was the end of the third quarter. The last 2 nights, the starting centers for the opposing teams have gone a combined 23 for 27.
Jeez Louise.
And it was the end of I think it was the third quarter, and there was just a fraction of a second or 1 point something left. And so Oklahoma City had the ball baseline out of bounds at the other end, and they throw it in to Hartenstein, catches the ball around the foul line, catches it and throws the ball without looking back over his head. And it hits the top of the backboard, and actually ended up there was a fraction of a second left, the Kings inbounded. But he does that without looking at the basket, and his teammates are laughing at him. I was like, what are you doing? It's like, wow, they're just clowning you right now. I know that wasn't intended directly as disrespect to the Sacramento Kings, but the fact that in an NBA game you could do that shows me that teams just are not very fearful of the Kings and their home court advantage right now.
I don't know if you watched down to the final seconds of last night's game. One of the Minnesota Timberwolves end of bench guys dunked the ball with the shot clock off at the end because he could. I think he probably got a talking to.
Was it Joan Berenguer?
I couldn't tell you who it was. I just saw it happen, and I was like, well, they feel that they could do that. So it makes me think back to, we haven't seen this yet this year, but there was a game that stuck out of my mind last year, and I think Mike Brown might have still been coaching, but the beginning of the end had already begun. And LeBron James and the Lakers came in, and there was 2 straight games of the Lakers playing the Kings in Sacramento. And the first game, LeBron, you could see he was like a shark who smelled blood. He was attacking everybody, getting everything that he wanted, and he was turning to guys like Isaac Jones, and he was cussing them out on the floor. It was like LeBron was 26 again, playing in the NBA Finals. He looked at that team and said, this team is weak. I'm going to break them. And I'm not saying that Isaiah Hartenstein and the Thunder did the same thing the other night, but you could tell the Thunder, after they made that late run in the second quarter to create enough separation to where, like, all right, now we're kind of in cruise control a little bit. From that point on, they're like, yeah, this team has given up. This team is quit. Or they're not even capable of fighting back because we're not going to even remotely give them the rope to climb out of this hole.
What did you think of the fact that Russell Westbrook's minutes were so sharply curtailed after he had the game of his, not his life, but of his Kings career against the Warriors?
It doesn't. Again, Whitey, it doesn't make sense. Like, I understand you start. So Domantas Sabonis comes back. He's always going to be a starter. He's right back on the starting lineup. Drew Eubanks, take a seat. You start Precious Achiuwa. And I thought Precious actually played pretty well. But you start Precious Achiuwa because he's lining up against Julius Randle, who is not only a really, really big guy, Julius Randle is a Kings killer. Julius Randle, he's probably scored 1,000 career points in the Golden One Center at this point. Like, he loves, so does Anthony Edwards, by the way. Anthony Edwards has said the Golden One Center is his favorite gym to play in. He just loves every team loves to come in and play the Kings in Sacramento, I guess. But
maybe it's not the gym, but go ahead.
Well, who knows? They love yes, probably. Regardless, like, you see these moves that Doug Christie is making that are matchup based, but then he sticks with the wrong things for too long. Like, Dennis Schroeder hasn't been able to put the ball in the ocean over the last 2 games. He has 5 total points on, I think, like 1 of 16 or 1 of 17.
He couldn't put a tater tot in the American River right now.
That's an analogy. It's certainly an analogy, and you're probably right. Like, he's offensively, he doesn't look like he has any confidence. He doesn't look like he can hit any shot. At least against OKC, he was distributing the basketball, had 8 assists. Last night he had, I think, 2 assists. Like, he's not doing anything for you in the 28 minutes that he's out there. Again, we go back to what I said earlier in the segment. The only thing that makes sense to me is Doug's like, I'm throwing them out there, trial by fire. They're just going to learn together, and that's it. But any sane coach you'd think would go, hey, you don't have it, Dennis. I got Russell Westbrook sitting on the bench who's coming off of a triple-double and has been arguably my best player so far this season. You know what? I'm going to go with Russ. It's not like it's a kid.
Yeah, there's just too many little strange head-scratchers like that going on for a team that is not a great team right now, and we pretty much knew that, but still, it's still too much that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're coming to you from the Hard Rock Sports Bar. Matt George, nice enough to join us. It's Jay and Whitey. VIP grand opening tonight, and then it opens to the public tomorrow. When we come back, 49ers had to choke down a bitter piece of reality pie yesterday. Oh, what a Monday it is. I'm glad we're up here because the sports talk is, it's not that festive today, let's be honest.
Yeah, we're going to need this VIP party tonight just to cheer us
Yeah,
up.
coming right back. Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, this is Greg Papa. Disasters hit every day. If your home, business, or building has suffered from any disaster, SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to and letting your focus be on what's most important, your family or your business. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options, heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's Trex.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heat and Air. Right now, breaking news, they're upgrading their offering to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy home pros. You hear me talk about them as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement, and now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free, and they'll give you a second opinion and almost certainly save you money. Oh, but wait, there's more. With winter coming up, how about a free furnace special? With full system installation, you're getting a free furnace, not a discounted furnace, a free furnace, and up to $4,000 in rebates while that funding lasts. So get there right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable. As a good
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Jay Johnson, Kevin Whitey Gleason, Hard Rock Sports Bar. Matt George is here.
Hey.
Wow.
I didn't get carded coming in. That's pretty
Nice.
good.
I knew there were VIPs were going to be here tonight. I didn't know we were going to have the caliber of like a Matt George here.
Well, I hope the party then picks up, because if I'm the VIP, then Hard Rock needs a reset.
VIP grand opening tonight of the Hard Rock Sports Bar. Then it opens to the public tomorrow. It's going to be spectacular. What do we say, up to 20 sporting events on the big screens? Big screen doesn't even do that justice, Jay, does it?
No, that's a extra large.
Uh-huh.
Triple big screen. 4. I was trying to count 20. I see 1, 2, 3. Well, that one black on us at the same time. That one. So it's around 20, because this has 3 in itself right here, right behind you.
Just as Jay was looking at it, they shut
took it down. They saw you're not going to count in checks and balances.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So we're having a good time here, taking you up to Monday Night Football. That should be a good game tonight.
Yeah. I mean, well, let's put it this way. Only a portion of us might actually be able to see it if you're like me that have YouTube TV. I can't even watch my own news station on my
Tell me about that.
television
I am not as sensitive to that as I should be, because it's not an issue for me, but I know Alan has been. Alan's like, wah, wah, wah. But he's been.
Well, that's normal. Yeah, that's just another
Yeah,
thing.
but a lot of obviously it's an issue for you both at home and at work, right?
Yeah, we can't, we don't have ESPN on YouTube TV. We don't have ABC 10 on YouTube TV. So tonight's Monday Night Football game, not available. So Packers, Eagles, well, you have to watch it on your phone or invite yourself over to your friend's house, or, hey, maybe come down to your local sports bar with 20 TVs and watch it there. So or you listen to it right here on Sactown Sports. See,
how about that?
That's the way to go. Close your eyes and just listen and imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine Josh Jacobs scoring enough fantasy points for me to win my league.
I would think that, I'm just guessing here, but I'm guessing that a lot of 49er fans were closing their eyes yesterday during that contest at Levi Stadium. 42-26, the Rams prevail. I saw somebody, it's a friend of mine who covers the 49ers, say, hey, you throw out that 14-0 start and the 49ers actually outscored the Rams 26-21, but it doesn't work that way at this level, does it?
Yeah, believe it or not, you can't just get rid of points to help support
Who said that?
Sterling Bennett mentioned that on Twitter, on X. He covers the 49ers.
Okay.
Friend of mine from down in what I call the Bay Area.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So they could be from Concord or something of that nature?
Yeah. I guess he was saying, once the 49ers got things going, but they just got after that terrible start. But that's the thing. With the defense as compromised as it is, Jay's going to shake his head here. He's going to say, Whitey, it's just football 1A. But it's true, and it's especially true for the Niners now. With the defense compromised, they need the veteran offense to carry more of the load, and it took them too long before they started picking up that load yesterday.
I mean, Mac Jones, statistically, numbers-wise, Mac Jones had himself a really, really good performance. But, I mean, this is a Niners team that, like, they're just not good enough to be able to fall behind by multiple scores early on and fight their way out of that hole. Like, if Fred Warner and Nick Bosa were still playing, okay, maybe they can buy the offense enough time to close that gap. But I felt like this game was a bit of an exposure game for the Niners because their record says they're a good football
reality
team.
Check, in a way?
The record says they're a good football team. And they've been winning games that a lot of people are asking, like, how in the world did they win that? But they won it. And thankfully for the Niners, like, their schedule really opens up now from this point on. A lot of very winnable ball games coming up over the next 4 or 5 weeks or so. But I felt like, okay, this is a Rams team that is legit, not just in your division, but the Rams are a legitimate contender for the Super Bowl in this wide open
The quarterback's
NFL
a legitimate MVP candidate.
100%. And they manhandled your defense like they probably should when you're missing your captain and Fred Warner. And, I mean, the Niners have no pass rush, period, end of statement. They don't threaten quarterbacks whatsoever. So I think what we saw the Rams do to the Niners is what teams in the playoffs will do to the Niners unless they play like a near-perfect football game.
Or unless they don't get there.
Well, that's...
Jay, what'd you think? Reality check yesterday for the Niners a little bit?
Nope, because I think going into it, you should have already been checked your reality. I've consistently said on every single day and every single week at this point, if you believe this team has an opportunity to beat the top-tier teams throughout the NFL, you're fooling yourself.
But they already beat them once.
Yep, and that's the point. Because guess what? You fooled yourselves.
Well, also they had even more players then, as injured as they've been all year.
Difference.
They still had more players then than
Fred
they did
Warner,
yesterday.
Captain America himself, had been on the squad. It just comes down to this, fellas. It truly does. When you're talking about the top echelon of the NFL, the 49ers don't belong there anymore, especially not making any moves, not having guys like Brandon Ayuk and Tricky Ricky P and guys like that on the roster that's healthy. When they get here, we'll have a conversation. Until then, you're just trying to stay above the Mendoza line. As Matt talked about, you have some weak teams coming up on paper.
Yeah.
I think you match up a lot better with some of those guys, and as we move forward, you take care of the Titans. You know, the one thing the 49ers have done is they put themselves in the proper position to make the playoffs and then see where the cookie crumbles. And beyond that, I don't really know, consistently, I don't know why we need to have the conversation of if you take a loss, so did everybody else.
Sure.
The NFL, everybody lose. What about the Bills? Did they get served humble pie? They probably just took a L. That's part of the game. We don't always have to necessarily say the whole house is fumbling down because you lost. You played a good Rams team who you beat. You lost. We move on to the next week. We don't always got to cry about taking a loss. This team isn't as great as people thought coming into the season, and I consistently said even at the beginning of the season, this team is get to the playoffs, and we'll see where it finds out.
The problem is the cookie hasn't crumbled so much as it tore an ACL. It's in the blue tint.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, which is even more reality.
And as of right now, it would still be nice, despite the fact that we know the 49ers aren't what they've been in recent years. Maybe they get into the playoffs. It would be nice if they were able to find a way in. And as of yesterday, yeah, the schedule suggests they still could find their way back in. But as of right now, they are out of the top 7 in the NFC.
Yeah. Well, and maybe the reality check isn't so much for the Niners themselves, because I think Kyle Shanahan is brilliant enough to look around and know what's going on and know what he's got and just going to try and take it week by week to see what he can do. Maybe reality check isn't the right word. Maybe it's just a measuring stick. Like, because, I mean, why do you famously talk about the jumble bucket? Where do the Niners fall in that jumble bucket? I think that was a measuring stick of, no, they're in it, but they're further down than some of these more legitimate teams like the Rams, who the Niners, in theory, when healthy, absolutely can compete again. I mean, if the Niners are completely healthy, I'll take them against that Rams team that we saw any game, any given Sunday. And I believe that this would have been the perfect season with how it's a complete wash around the league right now. The Bills losing. The Chiefs are vulnerable.
The Chiefs are also like the 49ers. They're on the outside looking in.
It's wide open in the NFL right now. So if the Niners are healthy, you have a really easy argument for saying they're the favorite. But as this Niners team stacks up, they found incredible ways to win football games, very similar to how the Chiefs did last season. But this game, a true test against not just arguably the best team in your division. We'll see when they play the Seahawks this coming week. But your first really opportunity to stack up against a team that we do think is a legit Super Bowl contender in this landscape of the NFL. We saw how the 49ers right now compare to that team, and it was not particularly close.
Do you think, Jay, it's realistic to think that maybe with Brock Purdy coming back, maybe this week, Tricky Ricky P, as you call him, maybe coming back, that maybe there's still some headroom for the 49ers. Maybe they still have room to play better despite all the defensive injuries. If you get some Ayuk, if he comes back, maybe the offense is good enough to make up for some of that slack, and maybe they're still capable of going on, especially considering the opposition, a little run here into the playoffs.
Oh, well, I mean, listen, you played the Rams in week 5. Fellas, it was week 10. A lot of things changed in 5 weeks. Right? And so just looking at the 49ers landscape, a lot of what they had have already changed. But I think you have some very winnable games. You had Arizona division game. You can call it whatever you want to call it. If you believe in Brissett, then you do. You got Carolina. Right now, they're an average team because their record tells me they're average.
They lost to the Saints yesterday.
Mean, come on now. Fresh off a Packers win, right? In Lambeau, which was the first road game win for Bryce Young in his whole NFL career, just about. Cleveland, same situation. You got Tennessee. Colts look like they may be dynamite, but I'll also say this, and I don't wish him this way, but Jay Taylor has always told me he's missing a game or two during the season too. So we'll just hold our breath till we get there. Chicago, you scared of Chicago? Maybe not.
That could be a huge game.
Well, Jay, let me ask you this, because it's definitely a glass half full way of looking at it. And like Whitey joked at the beginning, you can't just ignore how the game started.
No, of course not.
But the Niners, given their circumstances, were able to battle back to make that a one-score game, and then the Rams retook control.
Again.
But I don't know how much of that is like the Niners will keep fighting versus the Rams, just like every team in the NFL this season, will let you back in because there's no dominant team. So maybe that's an optimistic way to look at when Brock Purdy comes back, when Ricky Pearsall, maybe Brandon Ayuk. When these guys come back, that might be good enough because teams are going to let them back in, and when they have their weapons to truly take advantage of that, hey, maybe that's how the Niners can get themselves in a position to make a potential deep playoff run.
Yeah, I think if you're betting on this defense to be a championship caliber defense, it's probably not going to happen.
They would take that bet here at the Hard Rock Sports Bar, right?
Very true, 100%. Love the way you put that. I think if you're paying attention and you're watching, even Kyle Shanahan said it yesterday after the game, and he spoke to basically what both you guys said. The defense is not on the championship caliber. He said, I believe he said a hodgepodge, and let me make sure I go back to that, but he just said, we're the walking wounded. That's what he said. The defense was a walking wounded, and the offense has to, over-exert themselves and showcase their talent a little bit more. So, truly, when it's really all said and done, I think the Rams, using what Kyle Draper said coming into the season, they've kind of found their mojo. They seem to be out of the jumble bucket for me. 7-2, you're not in the jumble bucket. That's just where I'm at. I'm looking at the 5-5 teams. I'm looking at, did the Buccaneers fall back to the jumble bucket? Do you truly believe in the Patriots? Like, those are the teams that you got to have conversations. I'll just say this. I consistently have said the 49ers don't have a championship caliber team, even coming into the season, even healthy. But if the Patriots are there, I truly don't believe in them being a Super Bowl contending team.
They might be the best team in the AFC.
And that says a lot. Or some people could say the Ravens are. Some people could say the Chiefs. We're talking about 5-4 and 4-6 teams.
Wide open.
Yep. We are coming to you today from the Hard Rock Sports Bar. It's the VIP grand opening tonight. Opens to the public tomorrow. It's Jay and Whitey and Matt George, our special guest today. How about that? Woohoo! When we come back, Matt George will tackle this one. Are the Kings dominoes about to start a tumbling? Next, stick around. Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
Around here, Maverick is more than a name. It's who we are. My dad climbed power poles for a living, and he taught me to keep homes running when it gets cold. This November, donate 5 canned foods to our holiday food drive and choose a furnace tune-up or an electrical safety check. We'll collect your cans at the appointment and keep your heat comfy and your lights steady. So the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com. Limited November appointments. Some restrictions may apply.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Hi, I'm Kylie.
I'm John.
And I'm Garrison. And a little thing we love about the 30-count Chick-fil-A nuggets
is sharing it in the car during the holidays.
I do love that. We will pack the car with gifts. And of course, we go and pick up our family's favorite nuggets.
Every nugget is tasty times quadrillion.
And we get all the sides.
Yeah, the ooey gooey mac and cheese is a big hit.
Everyone from 1 to 116 would love Chick-fil-A's chicken nuggets.
Share the nuggets, share the joy. Order the 30-count Chick-fil-A nuggets on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Guys, it's time to know your numbers and what they mean. And right now, Revive Men's Health is offering a $400 comprehensive wellness panel for just $99. Free if you start treatment. Offer ends November 30th. Book today at ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khtk.com.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Yeah, maybe you want to come our way. We're at the Hard Rock Sports Bar. Whitey, it's Dave Johnson, Matt George joining us here. Matt George, I know, playing a little hurt today, and I apologize because I'm right up against his right arm, and you've had some work done, huh?
We got just some extra touch-ups being done on the Lord of the Rings map sleeve on the arm. So
all right.
It'll be debuted against it. It's an open wound right now, so it's all wrapped up. It sounds a lot worse than it is.
All right, we've got. I know we said we're going to talk about Kings. We'll get back to that, but right now we have a very special guest. The problem is, Matt. See, I'm from Hogan High in Vallejo, and he went to Vallejo High.
So am I in the middle of something?
You might be. Actually, I need you to protect me in case he comes after me. Get him. All-pro linebacker, the great Mike Merriweather. How are you?
Hey, doing fantastic, man. Small world.
Yes,
wow.
yes.
Wow.
Yeah, Vallejo.
Well, I'm class of '78. I hate to give away my age on national radio here, but hey. It is what it is.
Yeah, I went to Hogan, not even a high school anymore. It's like a middle school.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. What do you make of the 49ers dealing with all the injuries right now, Mike? Are you available? Because they can use some help at the linebacker spot.
Well, you know what? I got one play left, and I guess I'm going to have to say that for the highest offer, though. But, yeah, it's been tough for the Niners, man. It really has. A great team, and they're trying, but they're struggling. With Warner out, and of course on the offensive end with Purdy, they'll get it together. They're a good team, and they come from good bones, so they'll be all right.
We were just talking about this is such a unique season in the NFL. It just feels so wide open, right? Normally we can kind of pigeonhole, the Chiefs will be in the Super Bowl. Who will their opponent be? Now it's like you can make a case for the Patriots of all teams.
Wow,
I wonder how the NFL looks at that. I have to imagine there's an element of fun to that because we don't know what's going to happen when the playoffs start.
Right. Yeah. For the last couple of years, it's kind of been boring with the Chiefs running up, every year and all of that, and it looks like it's going to be a little different team, a little different change when it comes up. The Super Bowl comes up in San Francisco. So we're looking forward to that. I thought the Buffalo Bills were going to be a shoe-in.
Yeah.
And we're not going to talk about my Steelers, especially after last night. Oh my gosh, man, that was a rough one.
But you can speak to this really, really well because a lot of teams talk about, hey, it's just when it's wide open like this, it's just the team that's going to make it is just the one that hits their stride at the right time, right? How important is that? Ending the season on the right foot and going into the playoffs with momentum.
Exactly, and to add something to that, the team that is the most healthy going into the playoffs are really going to do well. So I know it's still kind of young. What's the 10th game?
Yeah.
So far?
Just played the 10th.
Yeah. So
we got a ways to go.
Yeah, a little ways to go. And I'm hoping my Packers upset Philly tonight, too. So we'll see about that. 'Cause I think they're a pretty good team, too.
Yeah, the great Mike Merriweather with us. He played, of course, for the Steelers, Vikings, Jets, and Packers. 3-time second-team All-Pro, 3-time Pro Bowler. Coming to you from the Hard Rock Sports Bar. Mike here for the VIP grand opening. Vallejo High, Hogan High. Yeah, kind of a rivalry there.
Well, I think Vallejo High wins because you said Hogan's a middle school now?
It is.
So you got downgraded? You got demoted?
Yeah, I guess so. I played basketball, Mike. I didn't play football against you. But
you're a smart guy.
How different is the game now in terms of what you can do and can't do defensively as opposed to when you played?
Oh, my goodness.
You can't tackle people now. It's illegal.
You can tackle, but not above the head.
You
know, you can't do the Jack Tatum thing anymore. But it has changed since my era when football was football, as they say. But still, they need to get it done. Practices are shorter. You just got to find a way to get it done. You know, you can work out on your own. But when we see it, we don't allow number 2 and number 3 receivers to run free down the field, and I see that as just prominent now. Tight ends getting 1,000 yards, that's unheard of, you know.
Do you know what a hip drop tackle is?
I still don't know.
So
I was going to ask about that myself.
You got to get the guy down any way you can.
We have players being suspended for a game over a hip drop tackle, and the players are going, I'm just tackling him. I'm just trying to pull him down. Like, I don't know if my hip's dropping, my arm's dropping. I'm just trying to get this 250-pound man on the ground. I mean, now we're supposed to expect defenders to mid-tackle go, okay, now I have to bring him down with this part of my body.
What method should I use to stop him?
I can't imagine.
Exactly. I think that was made up by the professors of the league that didn't play. I still don't know what that is. And I don't even know what a high ankle sprain is. That's a new one.
They didn't have that one. You're right. Yeah.
A high ankle sprain. So these are all.
If it's that high, it's not your ankle anymore, right?
No, right.
Yeah, we know where your ankle is. Mike Merriweather, nice enough to join us. Hard Rock Sports Bar. Who was the toughest guy for you to tackle when you played?
Oh, good grief! I can go back.
Or some off.
Well, Kennebrew, Cincinnati Bengals. Pete Johnson.
Oh my!
350-pound running back, not fullback. Running back. You know, those guys were pretty tough. Played against Barry Word, Kevin Mack, Cleveland Brown, Christian Okoye, Nigeria Nightmare. And they used to run, 30 times a game, 40 times a game back then. I'm going to take you way back. James Wilder, I remember him.
Tampa Bay.
Man, look at you. You know your stuff, man. Yeah, you on it. Used to run the ball 46 times a game, man.
Yeah.
Different time. And pass 20 times, 15, 16 times.
Yeah, Mike, it's funny you say that because I was just looking up earlier this year. Christian McCaffrey, how many touches he has, and I was looking up what's the most in a season, and it's James Wilder by far when he played 79, I think, or 80 with Tampa Bay. They just gave him the ball like every play practically.
Yeah, right. I was a witness to it. Somebody stop this guy. Yeah.
So I have a friend of mine who's a professional disc golfer, and we were having a conversation the other day about athletic flow state. Like when you get into this mode where I'm not thinking, I'm just reacting, and I have the full confidence that everything that I touch is gold right now. What is that flow state like as a defender in football? What is that mode like where you're like, no one's getting past me? No, like I'm getting to the quarterback, nobody can stop me. What is that like in football?
Oh my goodness. Let me tell you, as an undersized linebacker, when we were at Pittsburgh, I got Jack Lambert to the left of me, Donnie Shell behind me, my defensive linemen, doing their thing. I got backup, so you feel good. It's easy to get into that state where nothing's going to go wrong, nothing's going to happen. You can just play your game and get the job done. When I got traded to the Minnesota Vikings, Keith Millard, Dolman, God rest his soul, Al Noga had the big four guys up front, and all we had to do is just key on the back. And so it's a great feeling when you have that kind of personnel in front of you. It's easy to do to get into that mode.
Are linebackers now lighter? Do they have more pass responsibilities than they did when you played? Defensive?
I think the game has changed to more of a passing game. But the linebackers aren't required to cover much. Now it's the edge rushers putting pressure on the quarterback. I think they lost that skill or that art of covering the running backs one-on-one all the way down the field, disrupting them, to slow them down. I don't see that in this game today.
The one thing I never understood was trail coverage. I don't know how you guys ever, because if I'm between the quarterback and the guy he's thrown it to, I don't know how you ever stop it. But obviously, some guys are very good at trail coverage.
Just watch the hips.
Yeah.
The hips hips ain't gonna move too much. Don't watch the head.
Yeah.
You're gone. You're on skates there. But
the game has advanced so much today, and you hear people talk about these athletes, even the big guys, the linemen are faster and more agile and everything than they've ever been before. And I always think, I don't know if that's insulting to the old generation or not, or just where the game has grown and where the game has gone, but they always talk about advancements of the game and the game getting better and better and better. But what is it about the game from when you played, the way the league was when you played, that you think the NFL either needs to get back to or would benefit from or is missing in this modern era?
I think it's the fundamentals. You got a two gap. Everybody wants to get upfield. Here the gaps are huge. So everybody, all the running backs now are considered to be Barry Sanders, in his category, because they get a big explosion run or something. But it's nobody like Barry, trust me. But they got to learn how to play the run, two gap, and then get upfield, or read their keys a little bit more. I think that's what's missing. And, of course, the tackling, which is awful in the NFL. I don't know why they're firing head coaches. They should fire defensive coordinators and get them out because they're not getting the job done. Or they ain't telling the players to get the job done.
Yeah, Mike, I understand that the game has things they need to do to be safer. I appreciate that. But is it because players don't practice as much as they used to? Is that maybe one of the reasons that tackling is not what it used to be?
Well, I think you got to be conditioned to hit. I mean, it's not natural to run full speed into somebody, man. That's just not a natural thing. I mean, there's some people that are a little, cuckoo.
Yeah.
That like to hit people, just for the heck of it. But it's not a natural thing for us normal people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you hit somebody hard, baseball players, when they square one up, they say, I hardly felt it. Is it that way when you really hit a ball carrier? Is it almost like you don't feel it and they do?
Right. I'm glad. That's a good point. I've been telling my kids, telling everybody I talk to, you don't feel it when you hit somebody. If you get hit, or if you slack up, then you're gonna get rolled up and you feel it, or that kind of way. But no, if you hit somebody the right way. I know I don't feel it. I don't know about everybody else.
Yeah.
But when I got hit, I got hit.
But if you deliver the blow, they're going to feel it.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Mike, thank you so much for your time.
Oh, my pleasure.
We appreciate it. Yeah,
pleasure.
Mike Merriweather here, Hard Rock Sports Bar, VIP grand opening tonight. Matt George and I right back with a look at what's going on with the Kings. They're a long ways from Coach Christie's vision. That's next on Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home with a 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, I'm Kylie.
I'm John.
And I'm Garrison.
And a little thing we love about the 30-count Chick-fil-A nuggets
is sharing it in the car during the holidays.
I do love that.
We will pack the car with gifts. And of course, we go and pick up our family's favorite nuggets.
Every nugget is tasty times quadrillion.
And we get all the sides.
Yeah, the ooey gooey mac and cheese is a big hit.
Everyone from 1 to 116 would love Chick-fil-A's chicken nuggets.
Share the nuggets, share the joy. Order the 30-count Chick-fil-A nuggets on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729. Or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options. Heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's Trex.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Born in 1892 to a socially prominent family, she was the consummate athlete, proficient in golf, tennis, marksmanship, swimming, and car racing. Many considered her the greatest horsewoman of the century. She was a pioneer in the field of golf course development with 3 world-class courses on her resume: the Women's National Golf and Tennis Club, Cypress Point, and Pasatiempo. Working for SFB Morse of Pebble Beach fame led to her second golf course development, which many consider to be the greatest golf course in the world, Cypress Point, where she developed a lifelong friendship and professional relationship with famed architect Alistair McKenzie. Pasatiempo in Santa Cruz was her third development, where she hosted the likes of Bobby Jones, Will Rogers, Babe Saharias, and more. Today, her place is alongside many others in the World Golf Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Marion Hollins, a visionary golf course architect and pioneer of the game. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Coming to you from the Hard Rock Sports Bar, preparations underway to welcome all the celebrities. We just talked to Mike Merriweather from Vallejo, former All-Pro linebacker. Matt George has been on the show. Speaking of celebrities, he's been on the show for the last hour. He's going to stick around for another hour, I think.
You keep well, I'll stick around for an hour for sure, but you keep throwing that celebrity word around here. It's losing its value. We got real celebrities coming into the building later on tonight.
I assume this just to our right here. I apologize. I know even on YouTube you can't see this. They have the Hard Rock background. I'm assuming
spin it around, man. It's technology, baby.
Well, is that?
Come on.
That's probably on the other side. I'm assuming that's where they're
yeah.
going to take pictures of
photo op.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Step and repeat. Step and repeat, Mr. Gleason.
Uriah Faber and Tony the Tiger Lopez and Harold Presley and Matt George and on and on and on.
Well, X that last name out, but I'm a sucker for seeing things behind the scenes. Like, I've always liked the behind the scenes of something, and seeing this sports bar being set up behind the scenes. I was spending a lot of the last segment just watching them put together the wall of alcoholic beverages and bottles. That's basically art behind the bar. I mean, all the TVs and stuff, all the hard work that people are putting in here. It's really cool, man. I love experiencing behind the scenes of how stuff like this comes together.
And they are installing hardware as we speak on the railings and things. So
I mean, they're posts to hold like "You shall not pass" line. I don't know what they're called. They're guitars, man. Come on.
You had to get you had to get a Lord of the Rings reference.
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Did you see that, Jay?
I missed it. It was too nerdy for me. I missed it. What was it?
You shall not pass.
You shall not pass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I missed it.
Yeah.
Completely missed it.
Did you see here? He's got a bandage on his arm because he had his
I'm wrapped up today.
his
I got more work done
map
today.
of Middle Earth tattoo.
What?
Work done.
Are you serious?
We got more work done to it today, so it's all wrapped up. Yep. Because tattoo's considered an open wound. So
it is. Absolutely.
They got to wrap it up and keep it all nice and clean, so I'm not bleeding profusely all over the set here.
So how many man or woman hours on that thing when all is said and done to put that sucker
in total?
on
And
your
it's
arm?
still not done. I need probably another 2 more hours, but in total, I've been in the chair 11 hours for this.
Wow.
Worth it.
Yeah, a work of art.
Well, and two out of the 3 sessions were on Thursday night, so we watched Thursday night football together while I got a tattoo.
Oh, okay.
That's a good way to watch a football
if
game.
You're going to do it, I guess that makes sense.
But don't get your elbow tattooed. That hurts.
I wasn't gonna. Thanks.
Well, smart choice.
But why? How would anyone ever see your elbow, or did you have a chance to have it all the way up?
It goes all the way up.
Oh, okay. All right. So you had your elbow done. Yeah, all right.
My elbow, it's horrible.
Okay.
Getting your elbow tattooed is not fun.
You know what else would not be fun is getting your tattoo while watching a game like last night's Kings game.
Honestly, the pain might be a nice, unnecessary distraction to have to.
Why is it so painful when it's the Kings? Minnesota's good. We know the Kings are kind of struggling this year. Why? And I'm one of them. Why is everybody having such a hard time with that game?
I think, well, with that game specifically, it's just because it was so embarrassing, and I think it was back-to-back home games where you just, outside of the first quarter, you never really had a chance in either of those games. Well, you didn't even look like you wanted to have a chance or you cared enough to have a chance, and that's always tough. But I think what's the most frustrating for a lot of people is obviously this city and this fan base has such a love and appreciation for Doug Christie as part of that glory era of Kings basketball, and we naturally all want to see him succeed, and he talks so much about unfinished business and how important it is to him to finish what they started in the late 90s and early 2000s. And I think what's at least the hardest part for that side of me with the Kings fan background growing up, and a lot of Kings fans that I'm hearing talk about it, is like, we know what Doug is saying, and we believe Doug's message. We don't believe in the roster necessarily, but we believe in Doug's message. But Doug doesn't even seem to either want to or be able to hold his own standard. He talks so much about the defensive standard. The Sacramento Kings, this is how we're going to play. This is who we're going to be. It's not negotiable. But the actions on the court don't, and in his rotations, don't support that standard that he speaks so passionately about.
Well, I think that would be impossible with this roster.
Right.
This roster is not capable of playing that way, which has been one of the biggest puzzlers of this whole season, going back to even before it started, with Doug saying we're going to be this and this and this. And you could look at the roster and go, they're not that. So what's going to give here?
Well, as a whole, yes, I agree with you. But there are players that seem to fit that image better that just simply aren't playing. And Keon Ellis is the name that comes to mind. He's the first guy that comes to mind here. It's like it doesn't make it – on paper, Keon Ellis is the exact type of player that Doug Christie talks about. and he is one of the most efficient three-point shooters on the team, shoots over 40% from three, again, did so all last year. And defensively, while I do understand that Keon gambles sometimes on defense and that leaves you to giving up easy buckets because it forces your defense into rotation, the results are there with Keon as an on-ball individual defender. So what's confusing Kings fans is if Keon Ellis plays last night, do the Sacramento Kings win?
No.
Probably not. But
no probably to it. They don't.
Well, yeah, they don't.
Yeah.
But why are we waiting until the fourth quarter to put Keon Ellis out there when your message is defense, defense, defense? You have your starting point guard who's not playing a lick of defense along with the rest of the roster who's not known for playing defense. And you have Keon that's sitting there right there on the bench going, I should be the guy that's getting this opportunity right now.
Here's the only explanation that makes sense to me, and this is just me, my observation. No one has told me anything about this. First of all, to your point about Keon, it's very difficult for us as fans to know really if someone's a good defender or not. Even the metrics are kind of a mixed bag. But as I said earlier, with Keon, you can see it, the eye test. Even the average fans, casual fans, like, he's a good defender. All of the defensive box plus minus, good. Defensive rating, good. So he's a good defender on a team that doesn't have many. That's a given. So then why is it that a team that doesn't defend is not playing one of their better defenders? The only thing that makes sense to me is that you know what you have in him. When I say you, I mean Scott Perry, the front office, and Doug Christie. You've got some guys that you would like to be able to move at some point. They're not part of your long-term future. Keon ostensibly is. So you want to play the guys that are going to have a chance. You're going to showcase guys that you'd rather move. Keon, I'm not showcasing because I want to keep him. I don't know if that's true, but it's the only thing that makes a lick of sense to me.
Well, then you're catastrophically failing in multiple areas in that sense, because I don't know anybody who's watching the Kings play basketball right now and going, that's an asset that I want on my basketball team, at least the pieces that you want to move. Maybe Malik Monk, right. Malik's been playing well, so maybe it's okay, but I don't think Keon Ellis, we'd expect Keon to take minutes away from Malik Monk. The other aspect of that is, if you do view Keon Ellis as your long-term future, and the conversations that I've had within that organization are that it's not that they don't like Keon or they don't believe Keon can be a part of the long-term fit. They do. They're not going to overpay for him and get in a bidding war against themselves to keep him, but they would like him around long-term. But Keon is the one that has the decision. We're not talking about a restricted free agent here. And if you tick him off over the course of this process because you have to showcase other people, oh, Keon, we love you so much, but we're not actually going to play you when you seem to fit the style of basketball we want because we have to make sure Dennis Schroeder and DeMar DeRozan and all these other guys, these veterans, are happy. If I'm Keon, I'm looking around and going, what? Do you value me, or can I go and join the Milwaukee Bucks, the Minnesota Timberwolves, a team that could use a defender like me that's actually going to be playing basketball in May?
So you don't think that they are showcasing others? You don't buy that as part of the situation? I mean, again, while you ponder that, you might have been the one that asked the question last night to Doug Christie about Keon, and he starts out with Keon, and he's kind of couching it we'll figure it out. The league works these things out, which to me suggested maybe somebody gets moved. I don't know. But then he goes back to, hey, if you can defend, you're going to play. Well, he can defend, so how come he's not playing?
Yeah, I think there is some validity to the showcasing. I also think the main move that new general manager Scott Perry has done, he is not to blame for a vast majority of this roster. But Dennis Schroeder was his move.
Yeah.
And he spoke about Dennis Schroeder, and Doug Christie spoke about Dennis Schroeder as, we finally have a point guard in the building. We didn't have one after the De'Aaron Fox trade. We finally have him. And here's a guy who can be an extension of me on the floor. Here's a guy that is defense first and can pick up 94 feet and will handle the basketball and will be the tip of the spear of how we want to play. And he's playing terribly. And if he's the first guy that I'm taking out and putting Russell Westbrook in, who signed a week before the season started, I'm somewhat admitting my own failure a little bit.
Yeah.
It would be the same way that if Monty McNair last season and the Kings last season had moved DeMar DeRozan or Zach LaVine to the bench after the De'Aaron Fox trade, because you're admitting the star that we went out and got isn't good. So I do think there's a human element to that, but I don't buy that the Sacramento, we see scouts in the Golden One Center all the time that come through to watch the Sacramento Kings play. The blueprint to how to beat the Kings is obvious to every team. They all know how to do it. You pack the paint and dare them to beat you from three-point range, and then defensively just push them around. Every team is looking at the Sacramento Kings. They know what they have, And I don't think anybody is going to look at the Kings and go, well, I'm glad that Dennis Schroeder played 28 minutes a night. I know he's a capable point guard for my team. Like, no. We know you're talking about veterans and guys that are like the third oldest roster in the league. We're not talking about 24-year-olds who we don't know what their ceiling is. Most of these players who the Kings are going to look to trade, we know who they are in the league. So showcasing them in a blowout game against the Thunder or the Minnesota Timberwolves, I don't think that moves the needle for anybody.
Does it maybe, again, I'm just, grabbing at straws myself, watching that, trying to figure it out. If you're going to move these guys, you want them to put up numbers.
Sure.
I don't know.
Sure.
Domas last night, we know he has at least a contusion. I personally suspect it may be worse than that, but then no one's told me that. He at least we know he has sore ribs, and he's grabbing there either at the ribs or at whatever he's wearing over it. And, it'd be nice to see Maxime Reynaud play a little bit. But no, Domas is playing major minutes. When you have 2 more games in the next couple of days, why? Are they just trying to get Domas a chance to put up his numbers? I don't know. I was scratching my head over that.
I don't know if they're showcasing Domas to trade because I don't know if they can trade Domas. Like, realistically, we're talking about Domantas Sabonis might have the worst contract in the NBA right now with the way he's playing and how much he's being paid. And that's a real bummer because he got that contract because he was part of the Beam team finally turning everything around, right? So I think it's a combination of everything, Whitey, essentially is what we're getting at. And there is no correct answer because there really is nothing correct about this Sacramento Kings team right now.
Speaking of bad contracts, nice enough to join us here.
We got to start this way.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I don't mind. I just want to know where we're starting.
It's Matt, George, Jay, Whitey, and he's here for the VIP grand opening Hard Rock Sports Bar. Harold Presley. How are you, HP?
Well, I'm wearing glasses now, so that should tell you something.
It looks good. It looks good.
I can't see without them. I can't read without them. I can drive, but I just can't read without them.
Gotcha. Can you tell us about the early days of the Kings?
Are we really going to go back there?
We are, for this reason.
Okay.
My understanding is a big part of tonight having you here, Mike Woodson invited, Jerry Reynolds, Tank, here we are at the Hard Rock. We're not far from where you guys used to work at Yuba College?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. I'm gone.
I think we got
And I'm back.
Yeah.
And I'm back. Okay. Yeah. Yes. The very first year for me being here, which is 39 years ago.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're celebrating 40 years. I came a year after, but the guy says, just wait till you see where we're going. I was like, well, it can't be that bad. And we arrived, and I'm like, what? It's a little tiny, a little small. A little small. Coming from Philadelphia, a little small. But I was treated extremely well in Yuba City. Matter of fact, I'm around Yuba City quite a bit. But when we entered the town, we were looking for things to eat, places to eat, and Taco Bell was the main spot.
Well, because as you said, almost 40 years ago, it's still pretty wide open, but there wasn't nearly as much then as there is now, right?
No, there was really very little, and we were limited. No cars. They wanted us to just go to the gym, work out, and come on back to the hotel.
No cars?
We didn't have a car. I just got to town. I didn't have time to buy a car or a house or anything else. We just got there, so I was stuck just going across the street to Taco Bell from the hotel and playing video games the whole time. Because, you practice 2.5 hours. You come back later on in the evening and practice another. What are you going to do between?
Yeah.
And so it's video games.
What video games were you playing then?
Donkey Kong. The good stuff.
Yeah, the classics.
The classic. Yeah, and it really wasn't a lot to do. So from that, you would think that we would have been really good because we could concentrate on just basketball. Well, not everybody didn't have a car. Just the rookies. But it was actually an awful lot of fun. There was a warm feeling, just like it was in Sacramento when it first arrived in Sacramento. The atmosphere, all the people just really, truly enjoyed and loved the Kings. Obviously, they were in love with the first year that they were there, and they went to the playoffs that year. So it was really a fun time to be a rookie.
So you got drafted by a playoff team, right?
I got drafted by a playoff, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. It didn't happen after that, but yes, that is my claim to fame. I was drafted by a playoff team.
Yeah.
They ended up, I believe they lost to
in the playoffs, they lost to Houston.
They lost to Houston. They had Ralph Sampson and
Hakeem Olajuwon.
They were really big and good at that point, so
Yeah.
you can't fault them for that. It
Right,
was just a rough go. But being in Yuba City, I remember going to the college, Yuba City College, and again, really small. They have changed it since. They have done some upgrades, but we were just practicing. And all the players would come around and we would introduce ourselves to them and just have some fun with them. Doug Cornelius, who's up there now, is in the Hall of Fame type of deal. He is just doing a magnificent job. I remember Jonesy and the Yuba College trainer interacting quite a bit, just making sure we got everything we needed. And the problem we had was we had so many guys come for training camp, and the big issue was a lot of them were old. So we were going through practice the first day, we got the second day. After that, they said, listen, we're too old to practice twice a day. Wait, time out. What are we going to do? Practice once a day for the first week? Like, wow, the NBA is soft. I'm like, Villanova, we had to go all week, and Massimino was killing us. I couldn't walk. But, I had enough strength to go to the bowling alley and play video games all day.
Right.
And what were you playing there?
Man, Donkey Kong.
Your Donkey Kong gang must be serious.
That was nice back then. I can't jump over a barrel right now or a newspaper.
So you got to experience truly the beginning. Like Sacramento's going through a sports renaissance a little bit right now with MLB in town, with the A's in town, and Sac State's trying to build. UC Davis is continuing to build, but you got to experience the early days of Sacramento really becoming a sports hub. What was that like, seeing a quote-unquote cow town, as a reputation, become a major league sports town?
Yes, it truly started out as a cow town, and I was shocked when the cow bells were ringing in my ears. I'm like, what is going on? But I'm gonna get back to that. But just as I hear the cowbells, the other team, the opposing team, was always thrown off. They were like, what? And they would get pissed, and they would leave if we won. They would leave and say, that cow town place, they got the cowbells, and it just distracted them. So it was really fun to see that. My first couple of years in the very first arena, which was 10,000 seats right around there.
That place was
it
tiny.
was so loud.
Yeah.
It was rocking. And we had I just told a friend, we had this conversation all the time. His name is Bill Nelson. He was actually the last person cut my rookie year. And so he was there with us through the preseason and all the loudness, and we would just sit there like, wow. Well, he went and played in the CBA in Wisconsin. And so he called me up one day. He says, okay, you're playing Milwaukee. You want me to come to the game? I said, hour and a half, 2 hour drive. I said, man, come to the game. He said, well, you're going to be tired after. I said, I haven't played in 16 games. What am I going to be tired about?
And all the energy in the world.
Come on. Ends up, I believe whoever it was got sick. So I actually had to play most of the game. Yes, but I wasn't ready because 16 games. It wasn't like it is now where you have all this. To your point, it has evolved where they have everybody has a coach.
Yeah.
You look behind the bench, you see 9 coaches behind them. Well, those guys are training the guys.
Right.
They're personal trainers. So you have pretty much there's two players to every coach. So you can be on the court learning and practicing all the time.
And your personal coaches were Donkey Kong and Taco Bell.
Yeah, right. we had 3 coaches, and we never saw them after practice. So it was like, okay, what do we do? But yes, so it has truly evolved. The city itself, I was actually against going downtown to start with because I knew it was going to cost the taxpayers. And we've been hit so hard throughout the time that I got here with taxes. I'm like, you guys aren't going to like this. You're going to, but what it has done for the downtown area, even going into the old Sacramento, that little connection. I love what it has done. I know it's still got some ways to go, but just to see the downtown develop like other cities where you got a river walk and you got just everything going downtown, and they're revitalizing downtown around the country. I love that. I love what has happened even in the Yuba City area where we have a Hard Rock Casino that splits the Sacramento from Yuba City. It's a nice little connector. I know they're going to do some miraculous things here at this casino, but just coming up, whether you're coming up 65 or whether you're coming up the 99 route, either way, you see all these houses being built all over. This whole place is just going to be built up, and you won't even know that Yuba City was Yuba City. I'm going to say this, and I don't hate me for it. It was rated the #1 worst city in America.
Oh, okay.
Really? Yes, it was.
Really?
It was. I believe it was the early 90s.
Wow.
And it's come a long way. Now it's a place that people are moving because they want to get out of the big city. Sacramento now is a big city. And you want to get to a place that you have things that you can do, but not be in such a big place where there's a lot going on.
So your first NBA experience was going to the #1 rated worst city in the world, or
for training camp.
Yes.
And you didn't demand a trade? Good for
trade,
you.
I was happy. Like, all right, we're the thing in town. See, I coming from Philadelphia, where you got baseball and basketball and hockey and football, and you got everything. You know, the obviously Dr. J is a big draw, but other than that, Philadelphia did win it in '83 with Franklin Edwards. But other than that, it was okay. It's the other teams. You know, baseball was huge. Who did they have in baseball at that time?
It was like Mike Schmidt.
Mike Schmidt was there. You also had the oh gosh, I went blank.
Steve Carlton.
Before him. Went to Cincinnati and was just
Pete Rose.
Pete Rose. Yeah. So Pete Rose, and you had all that stuff going on with baseball and football. That basketball, although it was Dr. J, it still wasn't the only thing in town. Sacramento, for years, it's been the only thing in town. So we've been the big deal. Now you got the soccer, which I love that it's coming. The baseball. I didn't get to go to one of the baseball games this year. Unfortunately, we've been taking care of mother-in-law, and father-in-law just passed away, and just a lot of stuff going on. So I didn't get to go to the game. But because of what is happening in Sacramento, I'm looking forward to the next 40 years. 39, I'll say 39. Since
the great Harold Presley.
That's right.
That's right. As far as the Kings is concerned, we just got to keep praying.
Can I ask you one thing before we let you go? I know you got stuff to do. You mentioned you're from Philly. You mentioned Julius Erving. Did you ever guard him, and to what extent did you, Harold, shut down Dr. J?
You're going to love this. So my first week at Villanova, Julius Erving walks in the building while we were working out. I'm like, oh, crap. Y'all know who that is? Yeah, he comes every year. He works out with us. What? I'm like, are you kidding me? And so I'm matched up with him. And the only thing I thought was, don't hurt him. His season's about to start. Don't hurt the doctor. Try to play, but don't hurt him. Stay out of the way. Keep away. And we're going up and down. And he comes the next day. And the next day he says, hey, what size shoes you wear? Is that a 14? I said, yeah, I'm a 14. He says, okay, about 6'6", 6'7". Yeah. He says, I'll see you tomorrow. And okay, I'll see you tomorrow. And he walks in on, it was a Friday. I'm the only one there. For some reason, nobody else showed up. It's Friday. I'm like, we practice. We know we got to practice. Where's everybody? He walks in with 2 boxes of Converse.
Yeah.
Filled with sweatsuits.
Come on.
Filled with shoes and T-shirts. And I'm like, he says, I just want to thank you for how hard you played against me without trying to hurt me. He knew I was trying not to hurt me.
Man.
And my mouth was dropped to the floor. That was the doctor. I mean, Dr. J just gave, this is the guy that I watch the whole time. If the TV was on, it's because Dr. J was on. And otherwise, I was outside.
Yeah.
I was outside actually playing football. I love football, but I love Dr. J. So when that happened, I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. And it actually propelled me. I knew how I felt because of what Dr. J did.
Wow.
And a few years later, I went to a basketball camp where Daryl Dawkins pulled me out of the camp. It was my first camp ever. It's overnight camp. And he just picked, he was big and strong. He pulls me up. I'm a freshman in high school, just finished freshman year. And I'm flying through the air as he pulled me up, like Peter Pan. and he says, you're going to stand here and don't move. I'm just going to dunk on you a few times. And I stood there, and he did all kinds of monster dunks. And then he took off his shoes, signed them, and handed it to me. And I was like, that was cool. Now, I wore them every day.
Oh, yeah.
The next year, I was a all-state player. So I forgot that we had pictures that day. I had to race over to take the picture, and they wanted us in our sneakers. The only sneakers I had was the Daryl Dawkins filthy. They were I got them the summer before, and I wore them every day, so they were awful. In my photo, you see these old-looking shoes that were Daryl Dawkins.
Wow.
And because of that, because of those and my high school coach, my college coach, and my parents, it just was put in me to just make somebody feel good. No matter what you do, just no matter how you play, it doesn't matter. Just make sure somebody walks away and feels good. So that's why I'll carry little player cards and have them signed, so I hand them or whatever it is. Just I do. I always do. I always have them no matter where I go.
That is crazy.
I know.
And
That's
it's really awesome on
that's
the
pretty
airplane.
good.
The airplanes is really awesome. You get all kinds of extra stuff when you pull out a card for a stewardess.
The timing of this is really interesting because in the NBA news cycle right now is Anthony Edwards, and he gave away a jersey to a Kings fan kid last night at the Kings game, and he was interviewed about it, and he talked about how he was a kid in Atlanta growing up and wanted to see KD, and he always thought, like, hey, when I get back there, like, if I get to this point, I want to make sure to play. So he gives his jersey away to kids every opportunity. Like, that's super important to the NBA lifestyle.
So important, and for the whole NBA to get something positive rather than all the negative things that will come out. Because, let's face it, news is about the negative stuff. But when you get somebody who really gets it, Dr. J, I don't know. I actually sat down with him. He was at a Phil golf tournament. Not this year, but last year. And I sat with him. I said, Doc, I do need a signature. I had a wine bottle, and I had him sign the wine. Yeah. But he was so tired. I said, Doc, I got to tell you this story. Now, the whole table's listening. And I just told that same story. He's like, I did that? What? Doc, the greatest thing that happened in my life, and you don't remember it? Oh. But it was, the whole table was like, wow, that was really, he did that while you were in school as a freshman? And it's like, it just changed me. It just really helped my life, and to see people as just people, and that the little things can really mean a lot. So just a word. Bill Russell used to tell me, I said, Bill, the little kids, the parents, all they want is an autograph. He says, Harold, wouldn't you rather just talk? I would sit and talk with you for 2 hours with these people rather than give an autograph. I said, well, I get that. They'll hear all kinds of great stories, but they want an autograph. They want to be able to say, I saw. Come on, coach. He said, well, I don't even autograph anything you have. I said, well, you do. You autograph the checks. He said, do I?
Thank you, HB.
Okay, guys.
Yeah, Harold Presley. Among the celebrities here. We're right back from the Hard Rock Sports Bar to Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? HVAC. If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Well, I know the weather's kind of warm today, but don't be fooled. Winter is a-coming. How's your HVAC system? Is it ready for the winter? Maybe you want to get it checked out. Maybe it's time to get a new one as we did last year. So many HVAC companies out there. How to choose. We chose last year when our HVAC system broke down. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating, leesair.com, and I can recommend them. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating, they were ready to come out the day we called. They offer same day, next day service, which is incredible. They offer 100% satisfaction guarantee, 4.8 stars on Google, and they've won awards for their service. They won the Whitey Gleason Award for their service because they did a great job for us. They've spent more than, 40 years serving the Valley's HVAC heating and plumbing needs. You can trust Lee's with installation, repair of your AC furnace, water heater, residential and commercial plumbing repair, commercial HVAC services too. In fact, I got to have them come out and take a look at something under my house, plumbing-wise. Find out more at leesair.com. Check on their mission statement. It's all about serving customers and community. And check out the website, all the specials they currently have available. Let Lee's take care of you the way they took care of me and my family. They treated us like family, and they set us up with an HVAC system that has improved our quality of life. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating, leesair.com, license number 635355.
Get Black Friday savings during the Happy Honda Days excitement going on now at Stockton Honda, Northern California's best Honda dealer. You'll score big with low payments, top trade-in value, and a huge selection of new Hondas. Don't wait. The clock is ticking at StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on the results of the study recognized on June 18, 2025, USA Today's list of California's top car dealers 2025.
Around here, Maverick is more than a name. It's who we are. My dad climbed power poles for a living, and he taught me to keep homes running when it gets cold. This November, donate 5 canned foods to our holiday food drive and choose a furnace tune-up or an electrical safety check. We'll collect your cans at the appointment and keep your heat comfy and your lights steady. So the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com. Limited November appointments. Some restrictions may apply.
Every time I turn around, my friends at Pure Talk give me one more reason to feel good about switching. This month, for instance, they're supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat veterans struggling with PTSD. The result? They're saving lives on both ends of the leash. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. I like being in business with an American wireless company who shares my values. Yeah, I appreciate unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and I bet you will too. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business with a company who gives back to the men and women who volunteered to defend our country. Just dial pound 250, say micro. With Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team, you can switch in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
All you gotta do is put a drink.
Eric Church is back and bringing his unforgettable live show to Sacramento. Eric Church, Free the Machine Tour. With special guest, Charles Wesley Godwin. Golden One Center, November 13th. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. His new album, Evangeline vs. the Machine, is out now. One epic night of music that you won't want to miss. Eric Church, Free the Machine Tour. live at Golden One Center, November 13th. Get tickets now. For more, visit ericchurch.com. Produced by Messina Touring Group.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Wow, what an afternoon coming to you from a Hard Rock Sports Bar. VIP grand opening tonight. Harold Presley just joined us. He's here for that. And Matt George, I've talked to Harold Presley many times. I have been privileged to have visited him at his home, but I'd never heard that story before. And that explains a lot about Harold. He's one of the nicest people, if not the nicest person I've ever met. What a great story.
Yeah, I mean, this is where you wish it was a 5-hour podcast format with no breaks and you could just let him go, right? Like the stories. Dr. J giving you 2 shoe boxes full of stuff that, like, I mean, you better still have those shoe boxes. I don't know about the stuff. You better still have those shoes. I mean, that's just an unbelievable story, and you get so many of these legends of the game, whether it's local legends, national legends, that have these interactions with these larger-than-life figures. And my favorite thing about these stories is how it humanizes them, how you just remember they're just people. And a question that I get a lot with having the privilege to cover professional sports is, what's it like covering this player? What's it like covering that player? And they're people. They're human beings, and getting to experience the human side of these larger-than-life athletes is always really, really cool.
Yeah, my dad one time was he was a writer for the Vallejo Times-Herald. Yeah. And my favorite player at the time of baseball was Lou Brock, and I just loved Lou Brock. Had Lou Brock shoes and everything. And apparently after one game, my dad, which, being a writer, you're not supposed to do this, he was walking across the field or to the clubhouse with Lou Brock, and he told him my son's a big fan, and he asked Lou Brock to sign something, and Lou Brock did. My dad's pen didn't quite work, so some of it was, you couldn't see it all, but you could see the imprint. What I'll never forget, even though I wasn't there, was Lou Brock saying, well, tell him to wave to me next time he's at a game. And I just felt like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, did I hear this right? You said you had Lou Brock shoes?
Yes, he had his own brand of shoes.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I had no clue.
Yeah, they had white ones and they had black ones. And they had a red bottom, and it had a weird pattern that was supposed to make you faster. I don't know that it did, but oh yeah, Jay. Lou Brock shoes, are you kidding me?
Hakes?
Absolutely.
By Converse? Or was they Hakes?
I don't know. But it was a long time ago.
What?
Anyway, one of the reasons Harold's here is because tonight, the VIP grand opening for Hard Rock is also a celebration of, there we have on the video board here, Commissioner Stern. We're celebrating, Hard Rock celebrating the fact that the Kings have been in Sacramento 40 years.
Yeah.
Because they used to train in their early days very close to your Yuba College.
It's crazy that it's been 40 years already, and we don't necessarily have to talk about the amount of success that they've had over those 40 years, but the fact that this organization is so directly ingrained and tied to this community, and that was one of the cool things to talk with HB about, just how ingrained like Sacramento or the Kings are in Sacramento's culture, and how this community just not only embraced the Kings organization but tied themselves like blood, sweat, and tears to this organization. So anytime you can have a celebration like this, especially with these legends and these names coming back together, I imagine they don't skip a beat. I imagine they go right back to when they were practicing together and playing together at Yuba College and suiting up for Sacramento in the early days in Arco 1.
The cool thing, Matt George, nice enough to join us, speaking of celebrities. A lot of players talk about, I loved my teammates and this and that, and it was great. And some of that's true, and some of it is just, people being polite. But the thing about those original Kings is that they mean it because they still hang out and they come to these things. Like Eddie Johnson, last time we talked to Eddie Johnson about Mike Woodson, he said, I don't know.
Dude, yeah, I'm on a mission.
Double check.
I'm on a mission, family. I'm on a mission.
Okay. Anyway, Eddie Johnson said, Mike Woodson is still one of my best friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and there's a lot of that. What they went through here together, they bonded, even though the team wasn't great. They all appreciated going through it together.
I mean, and there's just been different eras of that, and that's withstood the test of time. You've got Doug Christie, who's the head coach of the team. Bobby Jackson is his lead assistant. You see Brad Miller helping out Mike Bibby with Sac State
you're right.
Hoops. I mean, it's just generation after generation of people that never really leave, and even if they do, even if their careers or their lives take them elsewhere, they always keep a piece of home here. And then you have even more legends on top of that coming back. Jason Williams will pop his head in every once in a while and always talking about coming back. Chris Webber, a couple of years ago, during his book tour, came back here to Sacramento and got the chance to talk to him, and he just talks about, like, you come as soon as he lands in Sacramento and steps off the plane, it's just you're back, you're home, and you fall right back into that flow. So that's what's really unique, I think, and special about Sacramento, that the NBA is always trying to showcase. I don't think it's a coincidence, Whitey, when you look at the Kings schedule that comes out every single year. It's not that the Sacramento Kings get a bunch of national TV games.
Right.
But the majority of their national TV games are typically in Sacramento in the Golden One Center because the league wants to showcase that crowd. Hopefully that crowd sticks around this season, though, based off of how everything's going.
Case in point tomorrow night, right?
Yeah, I mean, we got an 8 o'clock start, though, Whitey, for God's sake. That's going to take a little bit of getting used to, but yep. You got an 8 o'clock NBA on NBC. First time you'll hear the classic intro, Whitey's favorite, taking you inside of the Golden One Center for hopefully a competitive basketball game. Let's just start there. Make it competitive. Don't embarrass yourself in front of a national audience.
Speaking of the 80s, they just showed here a clip from the Sacramento Bee when Greg Lukenbill, who I think is also
he'll be here tonight.
Okay, when he bought the team, and they just had a shot of the newspaper, local buyer purchases Kings. Tremendous. So the Kings, throughout their history, there have been a number of crossroads. Things have worked out. Sometimes things haven't worked out. Where is this going from right here, where we are right now, Matt George? Where do you think this is all headed? And while you ponder that, let me just add this. Michael Redd last night, former NBA player, on Twitter, he said, quote, "I love basketball, but man, the Kings are a tough watch right now."
I think the Sacramento Kings are trying to simultaneously go in two directions because they don't want to pick one. They want to go the rebuild route to some extent, but they also want to stay competitive because they want to sell tickets and don't want to be bad for a handful of
seasons. And path one is getting narrower and narrower.
And just pick one and fully commit to it. And this has been an issue, I think, with this current ownership group and Vivek Ranadive's kind of tenure here in Sacramento is they want to move fast, and you can tell when they're climbing the ladder to success, they look for opportunities to skip a few rungs. And they did so with Beam Team 1. That team jumped up spots all the way to a third seed that no one saw coming. And they just tried to continue to kind of shortcut their way to success beyond that. I'm not saying that tanking is the blueprint to success or anything like that. In fact, there's a lot of evidence against that tanking doesn't work. Look what happened with the Utah Jazz in the NBA draft lottery just this last year. But whatever your vision is, commit to it, and specifically commit to the people who are starting that mission and allow them to try to end it. Because one of the reasons why I feel like the Kings have never fully been able to commit and see out and follow through on a path is because when things get rocky 2 or 3 years down that road, you make a change.
Yeah.
And even if you say you're not resetting, you are resetting because you're getting a new person in the building who's picking things up halfway through and going, but this is not the way I would do it, so they start on their own path again. So instead of a linear path to the top, you're now doing these jagged left and right turns, and that's where the Kings have been.
Yeah, it's a great point you make. I hadn't thought of it this way because Scott Perry has said, and I agree with them, there's no shortcuts, right? He has said that, but you look at the Kings, and in a way, Beam Team 1, it looked like they made a shortcut because they went from no one expected anything, then all of a sudden, wow! And I know that they had acquired Domas, but that hadn't worked out initially with De'Aaron Fox the way it was supposed to, and then all of a sudden, that one season, boom! So I could see how the people making the decisions could be fooled. It's like, what do you mean no shortcuts? We just took a shortcut and we were the story of the year in the NBA.
I think there's an element too of you gotta be hands off at the right time. And I don't know what Scott Perry's negotiations were with Vivek Ranadive. We know that there was no search. We know that Vivek went to Scott and said, I want you to be the general manager of my basketball team. And I would hope that Scott in those conversations would make it very, very clear, you have a mess that I need to clean up, and I'm going to need a couple of years just to clean up that mess and start to execute my vision. So I need the commitment, whether it's contractually or verbally or whatever, that you are going to let me see this through and that you're not going to panic and jump at the first time that it doesn't look good and make a change, which is kind of what I felt the Sacramento Kings did in firing Mike Brown and trading De'Aaron Fox the way that they did. So, and that's why I got a little spooked, Whitey, by Doug Christie's contract, because it's like you're already putting something in place to where you're already setting yourselves up to not fully commit to something. The next 2 years might be awful, Whitey, but I do not want to see any even note of, well, Scott Perry might be on the hot seat or anything like that. You gotta stop that. You gotta get consistent at the top at the very, very least and allow something to see it through, and if it fails, we know why, not calling it a failure halfway through.
Matt George with us today from Hard Rock Sports Bar. You say the next 2 years could be awful. I don't think they'll be awful if people have an idea what the Kings are doing. I think people will be tolerant. Maybe they won't win a lot of games. Right now, what we've seen the last 2 nights, to me, if it's not awful, it's close because there's confusion. Which direction are we headed? There's obviously, it's not so much the Kings gave up the rope last night. They looked like they didn't know where the rope was anymore. So, to your point, yeah, they could go through next couple of years without winning a lot of games. But if the idea of what they're trying to accomplish is clear, I think fans will be tolerant of that, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think they also will be able to celebrate the smaller victories that are all part of hopefully building up to something greater.
Well, the basketball is bad, so the present is bad, and there's no future in sight. Like when De'Aaron Fox was first drafted, the first few years of De'Aaron Fox's career, the Kings were really, really bad. But they had this exciting young player in De'Aaron Fox that you could see hopefully could be part of the future. DeMarcus Cousins is drafted. The first, almost every year DeMarcus Cousins was here, was really, really bad. But you have this dominant center that maybe, if the right things come together, maybe it can work. I love Keegan Murray. I love Nick Clifford. You were looking at these guys as role players on an eventual championship team or hopefully a deep playoff team, not the guys to get them there.
Yeah.
As this roster is constructed, the guys to get the Kings there, in theory, are 33, 34, 35, 36 years old, and they're not getting it done now. So if they're not going to get done now, there's no reason to believe they'll get it done in the future. So either this fan base needs something to rally around for the future to get them to at least invest and grow with the product, or what you're going to start seeing is the attendance numbers dropping. And the one thing that I will say that's the worst thing that can happen for the Sacramento Kings, Whitey, they've lost games for decades. We know this, but the fans have stayed there. If this fan base becomes indifferent about this team, that's where this organization knows they've really, really messed up. Because the one thing that's been consistent about Sacramento Kings basketball over 40 years is the fan base supporting it. If you lose that fan base, and you're starting to, that should be everything you need to know of writing on the wall of what you're doing wrong here.
That's why I think what Michael Redd said is so interesting. If fans around here are starting to look at it that way, that's a bad thing. But speaking of fans being there, not being there, I know you had some video of a couple seats courtside that were occupied for a while, then they weren't occupied last night.
Yeah, so Scott Perry, Alvin Gentry, and Vivek Ranadive are sitting front and center in Vivek's seats.
That sounds like the setup for a joke, but
no, it's not. And Vivek's sitting in the middle, and I have a minute-long video you can see on Twitter at Matt George Sack on Twitter or X of just them and arms crossed, sour looks on their faces, little communication between each other, but everybody's clearly not happy as the Kings are getting obliterated. Now, this is during the third quarter. I stopped recording late in the third quarter, and the Kings are getting destroyed. And lo and behold, at the end of the third quarter, Vivek Ranadive, Scott Perry stand up, they leave. Vivek doesn't come back. The owner couldn't even sit there and watch the rest of it. So how do you think the fans are going to react?
Maybe he had somebody from the Chargers or the Steelers on his fantasy team. Did you think of that?
That's the only way he's going to win, is this Kings team sure as heck isn't.
All right, Matt George, thanks so much for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
Yeah. Thank you, Jay. Thanks
always,
for all your
brother.
hard work.
Always, brother.
Yeah, stick around because we've got, speaking of football, we've got Monday Night Football. Jay, the Packers and the Eagles. This is a big one in the NFC.
Can I get a tie? I'll take a tie.
And we're back with you tomorrow. Monday Night Football coming up next on Sactown Sports.
Thank you, Ramsey.
The holidays can be a time of increased stress for those struggling with opioid or stimulant addiction. They can also be a time for pause, reflection, opportunity, and new beginnings. This holiday season, choose treatment and recovery. Embrace the company of family and friends and create special moments. Find a proven opioid or stimulant addiction treatment provider near you at choosechangeca.org.
At Power Business Technology, we're not another big box corporation. We're your neighbors, locally owned and operated. We know what businesses like yours need, from reliable printers to high-performance copiers. We'll help you find the right solution with personal service you just can't get online. Need setup or support? We're just down the road and always happy to help. Power Business Technology, family hometown service with big-time solutions. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729 or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Hey everyone, it's Kyle Draper here. If you're in the market for a new car, let me tell you about my experience with Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. From the moment I walked into their state-of-the-art showroom, I knew I was making the right choice. There was no pressure from the sales staff, and if I'm being honest, I felt like a kid in a candy store. I settled on the all-electric EQS SUV, and let me tell you why. First of all, the comfort. After a long day at work, I actually look forward to being in my car. It has several different massage settings, including my favorite, hot relaxing back. Plus, the seat heating and cooling features are perfect for the hot summer or those chilly mornings. Mercedes-Benz has the reputation of making the finest cars in the world. Now it's your turn to experience what I already know. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is the best car buying experience you'll ever have. They're just a short drive down I-5, or you can shop online anytime at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com, and tell them Drape sent you.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home with a 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove